back here on the Cover 3 podcast as we have, Alabama needs a new offensive coordinator, a new offensive line coach after the moves over the weekend. UCLA needed, past tense, to replace Chip Kelly. They have already, as of Monday morning, tapped former assistant and former star Deshaun Foster to take over there. But Chip Kelly to Ohio State, Tom, I wanted to pick your brain on this one because I know you wrote about it for CBSSports.com on the site. Definitely go check that out as well. So as we get into some of these other assistant coaching carousel moves, how do you think Kelly's addition, what stands out to you the most about his move to go join the Buckeyes rockstar football program heading in 2024?
It's crazy. It is wild in that a Big Ten head coach is leaving a Big Ten job to go be a Big Ten offensive coordinator. So from that angle, it's nuts. Looking at everything else and understanding the situation, it starts to make more sense. And understanding Chip Kelly, I don't think it's crazy because Chip Kelly, like we talk about with the panic about coaches leaving for the NFL and how it's just they can't take all these new rules and all this stuff. Chip Kelly never liked doing this to begin with. Like Chip Kelly has just been a dude who wants to coach football, even going back to the Oregon days. Like they recruited well, they used Nike and their influences. And I remember thinking of the Michael James and the stuff in Texas. I cannot remember the bagman's name that they got in trouble with, but
Elliot Miles.
Yeah, there we go. But Chip was always just a dude who wanted to draw up plays and like run plays. So like when it came to recruiting, Chip really wasn't the recruiter. He wasn't on his guys to be like, we got to get out there getting all the talent. Then he goes to the NFL. It doesn't work. And then when he's back, he spends a year in the studio at ESPN and like Tennessee was open, Florida was open, UCLA was open. I don't know how interested Tennessee ever was, but it came down to basically like Florida and UCLA we knew were interested. And most people were like, well, he's going to take the Florida job. Why the hell would you take, UCLA over Florida? And I wrote at the time, he's going to take the UCLA job because he doesn't want to recruit. And going to Florida, you're going to have to do it. Like, why did Dan Mullen get fired again despite winning the division twice? So, and then he ends up taking the UCLA job. But when he took that UCLA job, there was no transfer portal. There was no NIL. It was a job in Los Angeles where, again, UCLA fans want a new chancellor who gives a damn about football. Chip Kelly was at a job where he was kind of just able to do what he wanted to do, coach football. Couldn't do that anymore. So now he's leaving to be Ohio State's offensive coordinator where he's just going to be able to draw up plays and coach football. And depending on how things go, he might not be there very long, if they lose to Michigan again. But it's one of those situations. But the larger part to me is, and this is what I wrote about, each of these coaches has their own reasoning for doing what they've done. Whether you're Jeff Hafley or Chip Kelly, resetting your clock, just wanting to go, not wanting to deal with all the BS that comes with the gig. Ryan Grubb leaving, these position coaches leaving, all of them. They all have specific reasons. But the current situation of coaching at the college level is part of the decision-making process for every single one. You can't deny it. They've brought it up. You talk to coaches, they bring it up constantly. So yes, the ones who do get a chance to go to the NFL are going to take that chance or take that option more often than not because they want to get all this crap off their plate. They want to just go coach football. And my bigger concern isn't the overall quantity of coaches that are going to do it because, as Bud has mentioned, there's only so many jobs and these teams are going to have to want you. But who do they want? They want the best. They want the brightest. If you look at the NFL, the average age of an NFL head coach is going way down. Sean McVay used to be the baby. Now he's like the older veteran, and he's like 39 or 40. I don't even know how old he is anymore at this point. But they keep hiring younger coaches, and these guys are poaching from the college level, younger, innovative, smart coaches. There is a brain drain going on in the college football coaching community where a lot of the innovators, which is kind of what separated college from the NFL for so long, like you would see Chip Kelly was running that offense at college years before the NFL realized it existed. Mm-hmm. And then they hired him in the NFL. We've seen kind of implement styles, but now all those brains and all those plays are going to the NFL. And in college, it's not to say there aren't smart coaches left. There are. There's like 1,000 jobs. There's always going to be really smart coaches at the college level. It's just you're seeing more that it's about the coaches that are sticking at college are typically going to be A, great recruiters, or B, just very good coaches, like position coaches, guys who are great at development and all that kind of stuff. And those are great to have. But the offensive and defensive innovators, the guys with new ideas, most of those guys are going to the NFL. And I feel like that is a problem for college in the long run.
Makes sense. I also think it's going to last very long.
They need to change things, yeah.
Well, I don't think it's going to last very long. Just if you look at all the different court cases going on, I mean, most of these guys are going to bitch and complain about something every single offseason. Like, as long as I know coaches, it was something. It was transfer portal, and then it was satellite camps, and then before that, it was over-signing, and then it was cost of attendance. Remember, cost of attendance was gonna really ruin the sport. And these guys. I mean, look, I'm sure if people were calling us for our opinions on things, we would bitch about things at our jobs, right? I mean, I really like our jobs, but like still, there's things we all would complain about because these guys get reported on by media. Their thoughts get parroted out there. I hear the exact same complaints, but most of them can't leave and won't leave, and a lot of their skill sets are much closer to that of a high school coach than of an NFL coach. So, if you really want to make a choice that you can actually make, it's like, do you want to take a 90% pay cut and go make $48,000 to go coach high school ball?
But as we discussed, like, if it does not change soon and this extends over long periods of time, then there's going to be there's going to be noticeable impact. There's just
if it's like 15 more years, then I think we could see an impact. If it's like 3 or 4, I don't think it's really.
If they get this fixed by the time that the 2024 cycle are seniors,
Yeah. Right. I mean,
Bud is limiting his outrage because he believes in you, college football.
Yes.
He is harnessing it for other areas of his life, both professional and personal, because he believes that the future of college football will be different in the next 3 to 4 years in a way that does not have the current issues for coaches. They do have issues right now. All right, you want to keep going with other assistant carousel stuff, or do you have other breaking news?
No, that was the other stuff. So I don't have anything new on Kentucky offensive coordinator. Do you guys? Is it Butch, I guess?
Yeah.
Is that official?
Camden. It's not official, but it's looking that way. Sure, right? I mean,
they run the ball well at Boise,
right? You're getting in there. You're getting somebody who's going to come in, and Mark Stoops is going to say, "Hey, look, here's what we do here. We run the football. We have a physical offensive line." Hamden's like, "Gotcha. I know exactly what to do with that." So stylistically, it is not a hire which is going to make me be like,